Cleveland has one of the most passionate and loyal fan bases in all of sports. Trust me, I get it. It's been such a treat going from fan and athlete to host and reporter in this beautiful city. Let's hit the road and take some of your favorite Cleveland sports personalities for a spin around the land. I'm Gabriella Kreuz, and this is Kreuzin Cleveland.
You know, you see a lot of pitches, you get on base a lot. What is your secret, you think?
I think I have two. One, I think the secret is like short limbs. I think I actually don't have to like cast super long, so that increases contact, and the more contact you make, the more chance for hits. But the unsexy answer, I would say, is just consistency, like sticking to a plan, not straying from it, understanding my strengths, not trying to get too big. I think those two things factor into a little perfect storm.
Okay, I like how you went the little more sciencey route too to begin with. Literally, you're saying length plays a role.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess I never thought about that. What's cool about baseball is there's just so many different bodies and types of athletes and doing good things. So you always wonder, like, what is it that helps you hit a ball when it's so hard to do? It's okay. Our camera just fell, but don't worry, we're gonna go get it. You gotta use your limbs that are the perfect length.
I told you I have the short limbs.
Just all right, sick. Nice grab, Kevin.
Yeah, they don't just hand out Emmys, man. You gotta earn them. Call that a Chinese fire drill.
There we go. Chinese/Japanese, since you're in here, right?
Ooh, good segue.
The fact that you guys play so many games, keeping that balance and excitement for the game when, you know, you're in those long stretches, what's the key there?
Yeah, I think that's a tough one to talk on, because when you're playing every day, and like obviously it's a privilege to play every day, you almost have to kind of like go in like autopilot, or like you're like super desensitized to everything. Because I think, especially when you're coming up first in the league, like every day is so big. It's like I'm in the major leagues, I'm facing, you know, Seth Lugo, he's got X whip, X ERA, like it's all these things where you're just like so overwhelmed. And I think as you kind of get to play day in and day out, it's almost like, all right, like I'm gonna do my routine, I'm gonna make sure my body feels good, I'm gonna find out what this plan is and then go for it. And it's like, I think it helps to get to the day by day, but like I feel like so many things kind of just like fly by me as it goes, like emotionally, moments, like they all just kind of fly by. So like it's cool. I think it's necessary when you're playing every day to like just stick to your routines, be consistent, but like things just fly every day. It goes by really fast.
It's gotta help that you guys all really like each other too. The locker room you get to be a part of every single day. What makes this group unique?
Yeah, I think the thing that really helps is that we came up through the minors together. Like I played with Will, Tyler, Schneeman, who just came up, you know, Logan Allen, all these guys, Eli. We were with each other, you know, like not to be dramatic, but like in the trenches. Like we were in small cities around the U.S., not getting paid very much, playing professional baseball for sure, but like, you know, we had to be there because we love baseball. And when you love baseball, it means you love your teammates. If you're in a spot that you don't enjoy and the guys around you are like really cancerous, then like it makes baseball really tough. So the fact that we made it through all those levels, succeeded, we did some winning, we won a ring in AA in Akron, I think those things kind of all manifest itself. And when you have good chemistry like that, you can bring new guys in. Like last year we had Josh Bell, he gelled in perfectly. It's just easy to bring like a winning culture in. And like even Hedges, he just came in this year. He was out for a year, but like he blends right back in. So it's just kind of having that chemistry base and then being able to spread it out, I think is really important.
Speaking of chemistry, you guys were also in that chess tournament over spring training, and Austin Hedges. Have you gotten over that big singular loss you had to Austin Hedges?
No. I think what hurts more is that we played a game recently, and he's just not a good winner. He's a sore winner, you know. Like we start the game off, we're kind of just talking theory. He's like, hey, like, do you think I should take with this piece or this piece? I'm like, oh, probably this one because X, Y, Z. And then like he'll do a move. He's like, actually, I do a take back. And then, you know, we're playing a friendly game, and then he ends up beating me, and then he's telling the whole locker room he whooped my butt, you know. And so I'm like, you know, my pride's hurt, my ego's shot, but you know, I think if he was a little more humble, it could feel good. But
well, he did a take back and then roasted you for losing.
Yeah, but that's his thing. He gets under the skin. He's playing for the next game. He's not playing for that game. So I'm obviously still talking about it. So I'm not over it.
We're not shocked by it though. He's kind of a little bit of a smack talker.
No, he knows what he's doing. He's very good at it.
I just love how much you guys get along and the good vibes in the clubhouse. How about Steven Vogt? Because, he's stepping into this new role, but it seems like he's got such great rapport with everybody. We love what he's done so far this season. What can you say about him?
Yeah, he's been awesome. I mean, I'm sure as people know, like he was in our scouting report 2 years ago. We were playing the A's and he's behind the plate. And at least personally for me, I've been a huge fan of him because he had his great years in Oakland. I live really close there. But he's been awesome. I think a big thing with new managers is you're afraid that they'll stick their hands in places they don't. They'll just be like a puppet in the front office, whatever kind of myths are that float around. And I mean, at least from my personal experience, like Vogt's been awesome. Tremendous feel. He's one of the guys. He just talks smack with everybody. But he trusts the players too. He'll let us play the game. He'll vouch for us whenever things don't go maybe the way we want it to. He's just been super supportive, and we're obviously rolling right now, and I think he's been a big part of that.
I love these guys.
Another question people were asking on X, having played on a pretty ballin' college team, Oregon State national championship team, how about similarities between that team and the team you're on now? Is there anything you can draw upon?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, at Oregon State we have Pat Casey. I think one of the best head coaches that, in college baseball. I think it's similar with Vogt right now. I mean, he's going to probably be one of the greats that manages this game. He obviously was one of the greats that played it. Great team chemistry. I think in college you have to enjoy and love everybody because there's no accolades other than winning. And I feel like that's kind of the same thing we have with our team right now. All we want to do is win. We don't care who does it, how it happens. We'll take them any way we can. There's just a lot of winning culture that's going on.
What do you attribute that clutch factor of this team to?
Yeah, I think there's multiple things. I think first and foremost, just as a team, we don't panic. I mean, every inning we have, somebody. Last night it was Hedges, just saying like, hey, like we're in this, one at a time, chip away, do what we got to do. And it's like, you know what, you're right. Like it doesn't matter what the score is. If it's 5-0, 0-0, you got to go and have a good at bat. And you can't just cash it in and be like, all right, well, we'll get tomorrow. Everything's really important, but it's just trusting each other as well. Like no one's trying to be the singular hero. Everybody's just trying to get on base, get it for the next guy, and then hopefully something good happens.
We got to talk about Jose Ramirez too. What is it about this guy that makes him just an absolutely dominant baseball player?
Yeah, I think it's intention and how much he cares about the game. I think we talked about before, like he got paid. He did what he had to do, and he could have just called it in and been like, I'm chilling, I'm good. And he still wants to do those hard 90s. He wants to take first or third. And that shows us young guys that stuff's important. He's a complete ball player, and if he wasn't who he was, then we wouldn't be as a team like we are. But he shows up, he's consistent. He does the same routine every day in the cages. We'll see him in the weight room. He'll be in the meeting at the same spot. I mean, he probably won't admit it, but he loves the routine as much as anybody else. And I mean, when you have a guy like that, it's easy to follow in his footsteps. But yeah, and to piggyback off that topic though, like the short limbs, it's like obviously it's easier to hit a ball, but like you have shorter levers, so you have to generate more to hit it far.
Oh, first honk of the day.
Good. I don't even think that was towards you, but like what Jose does is unbelievably impressive because he's the same thing. He has short limbs, and that's why his contact rate's so good. But he's still able to generate so much power from his bat, and it's like contact point, whatever. But still, it's like Aaron Judge hits 50 home runs. You're like, he's strong enough to do that. But like Jose hits 30 home runs. You're like, how does he even do that? I think playing with Jose is like the best thing that could happen for my career.
What is your routine every game?
Yeah, I mean, especially with this hamstring stuff, the prep has been really important. Hop in the hydrotherapy room, do a little hot, cold, roll out, stretch out in the weight room, hop on the bike, hit the cage, sit back in my locker, kind of decompress, out for BP, and then after BP, we'll usually kind of decompress, play some cards, hitting meeting, last minute prep in the training room, and then out on the field.
How did you pick your walk-up songs?
So, first one, my girlfriend Sam picked.
Shout out to Sam.
Yeah, shout out Sam. She knows what the bangers are, especially like that'll get the stadium popping. So she picked that one, and then my second one is I picked that one. It's a rapper from the Bay Area, Larry June. He's just got some like smooth velvety beats. I feel like that's the kind of thing. For walk-up songs for me, I kind of like a instrumental more. So I think if you hear words too often, then it just kind of gets repetitive and you start hating the song. I like something with just like a good kind of beat.
Is your number special? How did you pick that?
Yeah. 8 in Chinese culture is historically a really lucky number. So I was thinking about doing 88, just, double luck. You want as much luck as you can. But I was actually talking to my grandma and asking what her favorite number is, and she did 38, or 3 and 8, which is sambat. So 3 is kind of the number for like prosperity, longevity, and she was kind of attuning it to, you want to have a longevity of luck. You want to have consistent luck, not just like a ton of impactful luck like all at once. You just want it as long as you can over your whole life. So I originally wanted to do 83, but one of our hitting coaches had that when I first came up, and I didn't want to step on anybody's toes, so flipped it 38, and then been riding that ever since.
I like leading with prosperity.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, some really wise words from Grandma.
Yeah.
How about pregame meal? Anything special? A lot of people wanted to know, do you have a favorite spot in Cleveland to eat?
Right now it's Cordelia. Cordelia's just been fire in the alleyway. The head chef Vinny, he just got nominated for the James Beard Award, so one of the best chefs in the area. So I mean, every time we go there, it's fire. Just a multitude of foods and dressed up in a different way. That's been one of my favorite spots in Cleveland, especially take Sam with. Pre-game meal, I usually stuff my face like right when I get to the field, which is like 7 hours before the game, so that'd be a little generous to call it pre-game. But I guess like right before the game, if I'm hungry and I need something quick, I'll do an acai bowl. Recently I've just been doing like a bowl of strawberries. I know it's berry season, so gotta stay up on that. But yeah, nothing too crazy. Definitely can't do anything too heavy.
Going back to chess really quick, I know a lot of people say chess can really help your baseball game because there's strategy and it's mental. So we've probably overplayed that a little bit because everything, chess that we push with you, and which are amazing things. Getting the community involved, the John Marshall chess team, getting all your teammates involved. First of all, do you have a classic opening move that you always default to?
Yeah, absolutely. When I'm on white, I'll play the Scotch, and then for black, I've been kind of like the Scandinavian, but that has not been working very well on mine. I've been getting cooked on that, so I might deviate away from that. But right now, those are kind of my two arsenal.
What is your current chess rating?
It's like a 950 right now. It's gone up, it's gone down. I'm just in like purgatory with that. I cannot seem to budge.
950?
Yeah.
What's a grandmaster, like 2400?
I think the prerequisite's like at least like 2200. But like, so chess.com has its rating, which is like obviously my only rating that I can have. But then there's like an official rating that people have. So like the highest like chess rating that I think somebody has right now is like 3300. So there's levels to it for sure.
Well, because where I was going with this is a lot of people talk about chess and the similarities, or I should say the correlation between it being a mental game and how it can help you with baseball. One of the things people haven't talked about though is you've got a background in pinball.
Yeah.
And that's gotta be some fire hand-eye coordination. Like I was Googling, and there's studies, you can find them, that are like there's such a significant correlation to increased motor skills, essentially, your hand-eye coordination, your reflexes.
Yeah.
How did you get into pinball? Because you played growing up, right?
Yeah, that's really funny. So, it's kind of backstory. My dad and my mom love pinball, so that's kind of obviously how I fell into it. But growing up, my dad always told me, he's like, that's why your hand-eye's so good. We made you play pinball. And my dad's like a goofball, as I'm sure people out there know. Like, he's an absolute clown. Like, he'll just say stuff to get a laugh. So I always just thought that was kind of just like he's just making a joke about that. But to hear that you said there's studies behind that's interesting. But yeah, I used to play. My parents would go to like arcades, and just like we had a little pinball museum close by to us. So we'd always just like pay a couple bucks, go play in there. They had like pinball computer games, and I would play that as well. It was always just around the house. So, and there was even one at my grandma's house that my uncle bought. It was always just kind of around, and when you're just chilling in the summertime, you got nothing better to do, you usually explore it and find one of those things. So that's funny. There's no way my dad knew that, but shout out Pops.
He was onto something, even subconsciously then, as a seasoned player himself.
Yeah, seriously.
Is there any other advice that your parents have bestowed besides pinball that have helped you become where you are right now as a person and a player?
Yeah, I think it's cool. My parents, I feel like, as it should be, they split me right down the middle. So like, I feel like my loving, carefree attitudes from my dad, and he's always talked about like don't take things too seriously. Like it's so easy to get caught up in a lot of stuff, but like, you know, life is good. We live blessed lives. Just take it day by day. And then on the flip side, my mom is like gung ho. Like if something's on her mind, she's gonna crush it and perfect it to whatever it is. I think that's like the lock-in mentality I have during baseball. But like kind of being able to toggle between those, I think is super important. Love as much as possible, be carefree, but like once you're intentional and like decide you want to do something, like do it to the fullest of your ability.
I love that. So our surprise for you right now actually is going off of the pinball thing. Have you been to Pins on West 25th?
Oh yeah, a bunch.
I thought this would just be a little bit of a different activity.
Okay, I'm all in.
You know, because everyone's onto you in chess. We get it. You're amazing. I know you'll say I'm not the grandmaster level yet, but you're pretty good. And we want to see these pinball skills in action.
Oh gosh. I will say I'm a little worried because my mom and dad have the actual like techniques where they like bump the machine and they do like the little tilt stuff, and I've always just hit the ball, and they swear there's like, I think there is some real strategy with it, but I don't do that at all. You gotta put a little oomph in there, yeah. Like they say it because the machine will tell you like you're doing it too much, and that's where you want to live, like on the edge. And I don't want to hit anything with it.
Wow.
But I'm gonna be exposed right now. But you know, let's lock in. Just an ape, bright lights.
We didn't talk about your shirt yet, though. Look at him roasting Cleveland already. With the Warriors
I'm about
shirt.
roasting, you know. I'm trying to stay loyal. Trying to stay loyal to the boys.
He is loyal.
Yeah, 07. Come on, 07. He's right there. Oh my God, they got a ramp.
Who's like your favorite teammate to play games with?
Probably Bybee. Bybee's he's competitive, but he's fair, you know.
Okay.
No cheating coming from him.
He's not throwing Austin Hedges curveballs.
No. Oh my God, I got my face in it. Oh, it happened again. You got a little flipper up here that you can hit with your left.
Oh, really? So
Yeah. So if it goes down here, then you can hit it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I was gonna be so good.
I played this one, and it said I was tilting it like too much when I wasn't, and I felt like that was an attack on my character. You know?
Wow. Well,
Oh my God, that was so
That was
bad.
my fault.
No,
That
you're
was
good.
my
You're
fault.
good.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Here she goes. Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to tell the hitter, are you ready?
I
though?
know. Sick.
Not a home run. Hey!
3-run blast.
I wish I could do that in real life. Kept wearing that.
Did you have like an MLB role model growing up? Like who you looked up to?
Yeah, definitely Ichiro. There wasn't a lot of like Asians in general in baseball.
I wondered that for you because you're really like elevating that bar right now, which is really cool. And I love that we embrace it too at the ballpark.
Oh my gosh.
That just is just to distract you from this.
You can't be better at me than this also.
Yeah, this is just, I'm getting lucky, I think. I'm really putting the 8 and 38 right now.
Hey. Oh my goodness. All right, enough of this. Pull the pants up.
You guys need one of these in the clubhouse.
Oh, this is actually sick.
Do you have one?
We have like a video game machine that's like all of the things, but this
is way better than
this
all
would
of them.
break in like 2 days though, knowing our barbarian team. I'm part of that barbarian team. All right, I guarantee this one.
Wow, look at my self-esteem today.
And that's the ball game.
Lee.
So we were versing each other the whole
Yeah,
time?
you beat me 12-7.
Wow.
Pinball Steve. Honestly, Pinball Steve kind of has a ring to it. My mom was gonna name me, she was like bouncing between a bunch of different names, but she was gonna name me Kenji, which means second born, or Kendall. But like, regardless of those two, like my nickname would have been Ken, like fire name, like Kenji Kwan, Kendall Kwan, fire name.
Wow.
And then she settled on Steven.
Steven.
And she's like, you know, I wanted you to have a chance in the business world, you know, like, cause you see someone like Kenji Kwan, you're gonna have some like opinion on them before you even meet them. But like Steven Kwan, it's like, okay, like, you know, he's a Steven, you know, he's whatever you may think from that. And so Tristan was like, oh, that's crazy. Like my mom was gonna name me Daquan. And I was like, oh, that's why we're homies. Because, you know, we had the name ingrained the whole time. But he's like, yeah, and then she named me Tristan. I was like, dude, same with me. So it's like, I think these names allow for a lot of shenanigans, like you were saying. But yeah, she got it because while she was pregnant with me, she was listening to a lot of Aerosmith, and she just loved Steven Tyler.
Wow, can you believe we could have been shortening it to Ken Kwan?
That's what I'm saying. Ken Kwan is fire, I think. But I think it's also like, you want what you don't have all the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Steven is very distinguished.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
You know?
I don't want to be distinguished. I want to be fire. Like, damn, there goes Ken.
Yeah, you need a little edge. This is such a fun fact, though.